Morning.
And the reason why I find these two young people here very interesting is the fact that I've known Phil for a long, long time, not on a very deep personal level, but we used to be co-workers at a particular auto store where Phil was the main man at the fleet department there. So
Thank you.
you were there for a number of years,
21 years
and then you went from there
to State Farm.
to Farm Insurance to be an agent. You have your own agency.
I have my own agency in Simi Valley.
You know, I recognize that, and I applaud it. I really do, because there are many people. I talk to hundreds and hundreds of people throughout the week. I mean, I interview different guests for the show, you name it. And there's always one particular complaint, and that is that people sometimes feel that they're stuck. They're mired down in a particular, whatever it is that they do. I have known many lawyers who are in the profession because it's in their genes or their blood or their bloodline or whatever, because grandfather was a lawyer, daddy was a lawyer, he's a lawyer. But they don't really want to. The only thing is that they don't know how to extricate themselves from the situation. I have been an adventurer all my life, and I have had, for one reason or another, the opportunity to make changes more than one time. I went from military aviation to civilian aviation to giving it up for becoming a family guy that owned a auto company, auto restoration company. So I recognize what you're saying. What was the tipping point, without getting specific, but in the discussion with Mama here, what did you guys say to each other, and how did you arrive at the fact that change was needed?
I had been upset or unhappy, not upset, unhappy in my career for a number of years.
Okay.
I felt that I was not making the difference that I needed to make, and emotionally, I wasn't feeling that I was accomplishing much other than going and doing my job.
And making money, but the money becomes kind of a
the money's
secondary.
money's great, but you need to balance quality of life with money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the quality of life in my mind wasn't there. And in July of 2016, we had some family tragedies. I had lost my mother.
Okay.
Heather had lost her stepmother and her father, all within about a 33-day period. At that point, we were able to make a decision on whether or not we were even to stay in California.
Okay.
And part of that reason was we had grandparents and parents here, and so we really felt that we couldn't leave the area. Without them in our lives, we now had that ability to grab the kids, load up the motorhome, and drive cross country and decide where we're going to land.
Right.
At that point, I had knew I wanted to do something different, but in my mind, I wasn't sure what that was going to be, and that was probably going to still be the auto industry. And I had submitted my resume online, as most people do when they're looking for a new opportunity, and I started receiving phone calls from insurance companies, all of them. And when State Farm called me, I was intrigued by it. And it was an opportunity that I felt I can still work with people, because at heart I'm a salesman, and I like working with people. And I came home one night and I said to Heather, I said, what would you think if I left my job and I became an insurance agent? And she looked at me, she says, okay, honey, whatever you want to do. You know, she's very supportive. So as long as I'm happy, she's happy.
That part of the equation right there has got to be one of the most important things.
Agreed.
I remember as a child when my dad announced that he was leaving Costa Rica, and he had a terrific job back there. I mean, he was the head of this mercantile company, the whole thing. But he had reached the point where he felt that there's no next step. Whatever. At that time, the migration took a little bit of a different way. Usually, the man would leave for whatever time it was, set up, work for a while, build up an economy, bring the family. And that's basically what happened. My dad left in 1954, joined the Army here. And then we migrated here in 1958. Today, the family unit is just that, works as a unit. So a lot of people find themselves anchored sometimes and afraid to make a move because they see that they need to uproot, like in your case, 4 lives. And it makes it so much difficult.
And that was the scariest part for me.
Right.
Although I knew I had to make a change emotionally for me because I was not happy doing what I was doing, it couldn't be only my decision.
Right.
It had to be a family decision. It had to be Heather's decision as well as my decision to make that move. And the scariest part was if I failed at it, I didn't just fail myself, I failed for 4.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because I had that responsibility to make sure that my family's taken care of and provided for.
Right.
I spoke to a few people about the opportunity. I spoke to my State Farm agent because I'd been a State Farm client for 20 years.
All right.
And his first words to me were, "What took you so long to make the decision?" And when I delved into it a little bit more, I realized that it would afford me opportunities that I didn't have where I was. It afforded me an opportunity to make decisions, to be my own boss, to have that American dream of owning a business and creating something remarkable for yourself, a legacy for your family. And that's really what I looked at. I can stay at my employer for the next 25 years because, trust me, they would love to keep me there. But I wasn't creating a legacy. I was creating something for somebody else, not for myself.
Right.
And that's where I need to make a change.
You know, that is something that is so difficult, is the sleepless nights before making the decision.
Yep.
The total awake days, nights after you make the decision, and the heartburn after you start.
Oh, I've still got the heartburn.
I can tell you, I know it all. We'll talk more about this in just a couple of seconds.
Hi everyone, this is Fred Dreyer with a big announcement. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Don't miss this classic modern-day Western set along Highway 395 in California. It's an action thriller with some romance too. You can own Highway 395 today by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co. Get my new movie, Highway 395, and check out my new website, freddryer.co.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Seekers of luscious and appetizing gustatorial pursuits, indulge your fancies with steaks so absolutely yum-yum. Vegetarians have forsaken kale and Pilates and never look back. Fish specialties so fresh and delicious and chosen by King Neptune himself, and relish Columbo's Italian family specialties so delectable you'll be yelling out, "Bravo, bravo!" And let's not forget Columbo's world-famous meatballs, and you've got to try their breakfast pizza. Oh, and jazz every night. Service that's friendly, not phoning, and at a price that'll keep you coming back. That's Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, manja.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. Call right now. That's 800-485-8803.
This is Larry Elder inviting you to join me twice daily here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Tune in to CRN3 Reagan Radio Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern for my live 3-hour show. And don't miss the replay of the show on CRN1 starting at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. The Larry Elder Show, twice as good, 2 times daily, Monday through Friday on CRN. Find out more at crntalk.com.
All right, we are back. And once again, my guest, Phil Englander and Heather Englander. Well, direct this to Heather. Were you ever scared after the news that your man was thinking about going on his own?
I wasn't scared because Phil has a tendency to always find a way.
Right.
So I was pretty comfortable in his decision and what he wanted to do. The worst thing you could do is tell Phil that he can't do something because he's going to go and find out he's going to figure out how to do it. He's going to do it.
Right.
Or you challenge him, any sort of challenge. It's one of the other agents wanted to do an office challenge to see, just 1 month who could do better. And I thought it was, I kind of laughed because whenever he had that challenge before, how many vehicles could you sell? He always went above and beyond that.
And beyond that, yeah.
And he just doesn't stop.
One of the things that that we talked about just before the break was there's a process. You just don't say, I think I'll be a State Farm agent. Or I think I'll be a auto repairman or whatever. The thinking process minds you before all this happens, before you even make a decision to go ahead. The thinking process before, or the planning, whatever. I know for a fact that for me, every time that I need to reinvent myself in one way or another, I pace around all kinds of hours of the night. I go play with the dog in the middle of the night. You name it. It finds myself very difficult to relax, and then that creates a situation of not being able to concentrate on the next step. So it's a quandary there. It's like putting a Rubik's Cube together. It's like you move all over the place and never really see the right formula.
Yeah.
Did you go through that?
I still do, unfortunately. When I was interested in the State Farm opportunity, the recruiter that I was working with up in Northern California said to me, it starts with you taking an online test. And let me tell you, 68% of the people that take that test will fail that test.
Right.
Well, there was the challenge. So once I passed that test that night, it was game on.
Right.
Now I've taken that first step. There's no going back. And it was really, to me, one of the most exciting times of my life because it was a transition. And I felt that if I didn't do it at that moment, I was never going to do it. I was going to go to my job the next day and do the same routine again and again and again. And then I didn't want to look back another 25 years and feel sorry for myself because I didn't take the opportunity.
You know what? I doubt that feeling sorry would have been the outcome, but the wondering what
could have been.
What could have been,
correct.
Is the one that would, I mean, it would decimate you.
Yeah.
It would decimate you. And this is one of the things that I always tell people. Think about what you want to do. You need to make change. You're stuck in a rut. You want to move on. Experiment. Try something. Do it on a part-time basis. Do whatever it takes to get your feet wet in the direction that you want to go.
And talk to people.
Yeah.
Talk to people that are doing different things than you. Granted, there's a lot of opportunities. When people say that unemployment rates are high and there's no jobs, there's jobs.
There's jobs all
There's
over.
all over. Whatever you want to do, you can create an opportunity. Going into my new career, it allowed me, because I've always believed people do business with people.
Right.
And that's what sales is all about, is doing business with people. And this has now afforded me the opportunity to not only do what I love to do, and that's sales and working with people, but I get to work with my family. And I get to see them, and I spend more time with them now. I can see my kids grow up. I've got a laptop, so anywhere I am in the world, I can do my job.
Yeah, you can. That's one beauty of today, is the fact that with the laptop you can be in your own
We're a
office
mobile
wherever
society.
you happen to be. All right, guys, keep that thought in mind. We'll be back with some more. This is really getting juicy here. Hang on.
Enjoy Tiki Live, the best cable alternative choice today, with hundreds of premium live TV programming, including ESPN, CNN, Fox News, Disney, AMC, Bravo, XF, OWN, and CRN Talk. Plus no contracts and low month-to-month service. Tiki Live, servicing North America, including the Caribbean. To get started, visit TikiLive.com to order hundreds of channels, including CRN Talk, at a fraction of what you're paying today. Visit TikiLive.com. That's TikiLive.com.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow!
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-309-2677. 800-309-2677. Call now. 800-309-2677. That's 800-309-2677.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks? Chick-fil-A, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
3 friends, 3 unique perspectives. You're listening to On Air with Doug, Jen, and Victoria.
Sean Connery.
He could be 109. I'd still go out with him.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Where's Lewis?
He knows.
There's
something called a free pass. Yeah, it might be my hall pass.
There's a hall pass? No hall passes in my life.
Maybe you need to renegotiate that agreement.
Doug, Jen, and Victoria weekdays at 3 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern on CRN.
All right, we are back again. And during the break, Phil asked me a question.
Question was, how did you end up in radio? I mean, I know your background, and we're in the same industry for years together. Why radio?
Why radio? It just so happens to be that in the eyes of many people that know me is because they say I'm a ham because I do little theatrical parts and this and that and the other. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that forever and ever I've had to use my communication skills to be able to either sell or motivate people to be on my side. I'm not a con man. I just happen to be a realist. And I very open about the fact that the standalone person today does not exist anymore. You need help. You need associations. You need to cultivate around you. And that's it. So with that in mind, I was invited to do a guest spot at another station. And the man heard me, the owner of the station heard me, and he liked what he heard, and he opened the door for me to start my own show. This was 2009. And so that's the way it was. I mean, I stuttered throughout the whole first couple of episodes and whatnot, and then I realized that in order for me to communicate more effectively on what I wanted the message to be, which is to make headway, to enjoy life, to dream big, it was better to do it through a guest-driven show, and that's where you come in.
And that's that's the key. What you just said. It's life is to be lived.
Right.
You know, for many years growing up, my father was in the furniture business.
Okay.
I remember many times that I don't remember seeing him at home because he was constantly doing sales. He was constantly traveling. He was all over the country, going to clients' offices and whatever the case may be. That was my understanding of how life was supposed to be. That was a job. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you repeat, what is it, lather, rinse, and repeat? And you do that every day. I didn't realize that there was other opportunities out there. And I'm just sorry I didn't take this opportunity when I was much younger. because there's so much to learn about.
But you
this
know
industry.
what? It's never too late.
And that's the point. It's never too late to make a change.
A lot of people that feel that they're unmotivated, that they're stuck or whatever, also put age into the equation. Me, I'm not a young guy. I retired already once. I lived a life of Riley away from here. I mean, there's no reason for me to be here, other than the fact that I still feel that I have something that I can offer. I have something that I can share, and that's the reason why I'm here. I gave up an aviation career because I wanted to spend more time with my oldest daughter at the time. My youngest one has not been born yet. But, I mean, one day I was home, she was born, I held her in my arms, I went on a trip, and before I knew it, I'm coming home to a walking toddler that didn't know how to say dada. You know, I mean, it was just one of those things. Yes, I was having a great time flying these big exotic machines and all of that, but there was a hole there, you know, and it turned out to be family. So
one thing I wanted to say was that that was something that I was trying to let Phil see, try and help him see as he was working and the kids were growing up, because he always says I was home every night, and yes, he was home every night, but there would be times where he would deliver a vehicle at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, or and the kids are already in bed. The day's already done.
Right.
You know, and that's the way we lived for a really long time.
I remember those days because I had a lot of clients in the entertainment business, and they would call me and they would say, "Hey, listen, I'm looking for a black XF." You know? Oh yeah, but I can only be there by 9 o'clock because I'm on call. And okay, fine. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're delivering the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was reality for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was home, but I was there to sleep.
Yeah.
I wasn't there to spend time with my kids and, you know, play ball and watch them grow and everything else, because my job was to go to work every day so I can pay the bills so that they had what they needed. But what they needed really was me. So how do you manage that or balance that career? And so, I mean, I'm fortunate that I was given another opportunity for something, and I took that opportunity. Just wish I had taken it sooner.
Okay.
But you're right. It's never too late if you're tired, if you're not happy in your decisions, to make decisions.
I think that people should always be aware, and this is something that my wife always, you know, laughs about, because I can be doing this show here right now and I'm happier than whatever. And she goes, and you're probably thinking, what if there was a TV camera around and you could, you know, because for me, there has always been, when I was flying, and I remember I got checked out in being a Learjet pilot and then a jet commander pilot. And then I go, man, the Grummans are out there now, you know, and I need to get hold of one of those, you know. So it is sometimes difficult because you don't settle.
Correct.
But there's nothing wrong also with keeping such an open mind. You cannot walk a straight track all of the time. You need to see the side picture and enjoy the scenery. And we'll come back. I have a couple of questions for Heather. So we'll be back in just a couple of seconds.
The
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. Call right now. That's 800-485-8803.
All right, Heather, you're on the spot now.
I'm in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat right now. Were you a career person also when Phil was working?
I was. Well, Phil and I met at the dealership.
Okay.
I was his assistant.
Okay.
So I have worked with Phil in the past, and then when we had our son, I then became more of a stay-at-home mom situation. Right. So now I'm working with him. I went and I got my insurance license, and we work together, and it's completely different.
Do you find it manageable? And the reason why I say that is because in my case, my wife and I, we love each other. We have worked together for many, many years, but it became to the point where we knew we couldn't work together. Both of us are very strong characters, and doing the same thing in the same office. Although I was the marketing director and she was in charge of the production part, still the decisions had to be done in a mutual way. In many cases, I had to kind of impose my will because I'm the one that was out on the street. I saw what was needed at the moment. And so anyway, it became a little bit of a situation, and then we sold out and decided to retire. Got tired of being retired. So now we are both in the same business of travel, but she has her own company and is affiliated with a big, big chain of travel agencies. And I have my own. You know, we do a little bit of a different clientele and a little bit of a different booking system, the whole thing. And we are happier than who knows what, because we both get to travel quite a bit because we both have the same contacts. I mean, we just came back from Brazil and Chile and whatnot. You know, but it has worked for us to be separate instead of together. Do you find it hard sometimes? I mean, let's be honest about it.
I know that the insurance office, that's Phil's.
Okay.
I think it's not a matter of like knowing your place. It's a matter of, it comes down to a respect, and it comes down to he's the agent and I'm the rep.
Okay.
And we can work together. What ends up actually where I get frustrated or I have a problem is because we're changing up the mommy brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm homeschooling. I'm working in the office, and we're requiring my brain to do something that it hasn't done in a long time, and that is, I do a lot of the servicing, and so my frustration is working on the computer and getting back to doing that. I don't think we really have an issue with working together or being together 24/7. The other thing is that I also like to do stand-up comedy.
Okay.
So
cool.
Being able to turn it into a funny that's what I like to do.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't really have the.
Because that is one thing that happens when couples work together.
Mm-hmm.
For one reason or another, the 4 feet get intertwined and stuck in the same pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's his shoes or your shoes, it doesn't matter. But all of a sudden, you don't know who's taking the first step and who's walking sideways.
Right.
It's really strange. And that's where everything turns into a short circuit. Everything starts like crackling and people start pulling sideways and then the disintegration of a situation happens. But here is the thing, and it goes back to your question as to why I got into this broadcasting, and is communications. I think that as long as you develop from the very beginning a good sense and a balanced sense of communication, there's nothing that you cannot do.
Right.
I mean, it's just the way it is.
We had our ups and downs in the beginning, especially when the kids were babies and he wasn't home a lot, and I actually was sick and didn't really know what was going on, and there wasn't a lot of communication going on between the two of us. And then for Mother's Day, he gave me a comedy workshop.
Oh, cool.
So I went and I did that, and then something happened, and I was able to go ahead and communicate. So that's one of the things that we do now. I may try and figure out how to say it in a nicer way, but I try really hard to make sure that I say it, because there are certain things that he and I have had to talk about, but all in all, that's what you have to do, is you have to talk about it.
There's nothing worse than actually keeping your feelings bottled in. And I got to tell you, if you are aware of your companion, you see the mood changes. And as long as you're able to get out of your own way and listen, then I think there's solutions for everything. So.
And I got to tell you, I love working with my wife. I have a blast every day.
Sounds good.
I look forward to going to the office.
Mr. and Mrs. Englander, thank you for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having us.
We have a very short segment coming up. We'll talk a little bit more, and I'm going to get your contact information.
For sure.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds.
From traditional Hawaiian weddings and vow renewals to your own unique ceremony, find out why Ka'anapali Weddings is the perfect place to say, I do. Create the memory that will last a lifetime at the place you and your family know and love, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Imagine yourself and your loved one just steps away from world-famous Ka'anapali Beach in one of many wedding venues to choose from, including oceanside lawns, tropical gardens, or indoor banquet rooms. With your choice of catering, bar, floral, and musical options, you can make your special day customized just for you. Their wedding specialists will help you plan your dream wedding today. For more information, visit ka'anapaliweddings.com or call 661-0011. Ka'anapali Weddings, the perfect place to say, I do.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Hi everyone, this is Fred Dreyer with a big announcement. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Don't miss this classic modern-day Western set along Highway 395 in California. It's an action thriller with some romance too. You can own Highway 395 today by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co. Get my new movie, Highway 395, and check out my new website, freddryer.co.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the Art of the Masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. Enjoy Tiki Live, the best cable alternative choice today, with hundreds of premium live TV programming, including ESPN, CNN, Fox News, Disney, AMC, Bravo, XF, OWN, and CRN Talk. Plus no contracts and low month-to-month service. Tiki Live, servicing North America, including the Caribbean. To get started, visit TikiLive.com to order hundreds of channels, including CRN Talk, at a fraction of what you're paying today. Visit TikiLive.com. That's TikiLive.com.
All right, we are back, and I want to give you some information here. For any comments, any suggestions for the show, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com. And as you know, we are promoting some trips. I didn't have the time to talk about them today, but if you are interested in more travel information, silverfoxexpeditions@gmail.com, silverfoxexpeditions@gmail.com. And if you want to send me $1 million, you can send it to the address here at the studio, and we'll give you the address later on today. You are a stand-up comic? I mean, you still do it?
The last show that I did,
Heather?
show that I did was in March.
Oh, okay.
So it's really getting State Farm up and going, and then I'd like to go ahead and pursue that again.
Very cool. Very cool. Phil.
And she's pretty funny too.
Yeah?
She is. She makes me laugh.
Oh, yeah? I'm not going to get into that conversation.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't want to know what makes you laugh, boy, I tell you. Dirty jokes? Is that what it is?
No, dirty jokes. She's a mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your contact information.
We can be reached at www.philsmyagent.com. Philsmyagent.com or phil@philsmyagent.com. We're located in Simi Valley at 805-527-7262. And we're there to serve all your insurance needs.
That's it,
Love
man.
the opportunity to earn your business. And that's what's important, too. I tell people I want the opportunity to earn their business. I don't expect their business. I want to work for it.
You know what? That has always been a saying of mine, and I always tell people, it is a truism. Give me 1% of your trust. I learned the other 99. And, you know, people look at it and they go like, really? Yeah. And I mean, you know, like, whether it's the travel business, the auto business, the insurance business, whatever, you need to always project the benefit to the consumer at all times. And they, you know, you may not be the cheapest. You may not be the easiest to deal with. You may be stubborn as far as the coverage that you think that they need because you are a professional and you know. But people will always respect the fact that no matter how tough you happen to be or whatever, you had their best interest at heart.
Correct. Yep.
and people will always respect that.
And that's the truth. You know, like I say, I mean it when I say I want to earn the business. I don't
Right.
expect the business. And having that relationship with people is very important to me.
Well, you know what? I mean, a happy customer will tell 1 or 2 people. An unhappy one will tell 300.
Correct.
And post it all over the place. Facebook, it'll always be there. Very few people actually say, thank you, Phil. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Orlando. You know.
I say thank you, Orlando, for having us today.
Well, yeah. And you called me awesome.
I did. There's a Facebook post that proves it.
Everything is so cool. I want to thank you once again. I mean, it's been wonderful. I know your business is fairly new, but you're not new to business.
No.
And Heather, you're being so supportive. I appreciate that because I've been in business with my wife, and I know what the effort is to be supportive of each other. So, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Best of luck. And that's about it. I think we are out of time once again. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.